Hello, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you're new to my network or new to my channel on YouTube, hey, my YouTube watchers. I am Latrice Huff, career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color, and it is my mission and my movement to put more women of color in positions of power and to have us make six figures and beyond. Because when we make more money, we change the world. We help our communities, we help our family, we help our friends, we change the world. So, in doing that, I want to talk about overcoming imposter syndrome as a woman of color. This is something that attacks our community, you guys. It attacks our community. I have seen talented, brilliant, highly educated, highly decorated, high achieving women of color suffer and be incapacitated by imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome will steal your peace. It will have you feeling like you don't belong when you know you've earned it. And I want to know, let me know if you all have ever felt this way, where you have earned it, you have the credentials. And now, when you're in that room, you're in the boardroom, you're in the meeting, you're in the conference room, and you are paralyzed and you feel like you don't belong. You're asking yourself, do I really deserve this? You are not alone. We have all felt this way, and it can show up by you silencing your voice. I have seen women actually get into high level positions and lose the position because of imposter syndrome, because they didn't feel like they belonged, they didn't feel good enough, so they were looking to someone else to give them the answers, to give them the direction and the vision when that was their job. And so I'm telling you all this so you don't make these same mistakes, so we overcome imposter syndrome. Because on the flip side, I've seen women, when they know what their value, when they know who they are, when they know their brand. This is what I also see. If you don't know your brand, like who you are and the problem you solve, and you can't clearly articulate that, you're going to suffer from imposter syndrome. On the flip side, when these women know their brand, when they're confident in who they are, they can clearly articulate their value with metrics, tell you the problems they solve. Oh, they show up differently. They're not just speaking up in the meetings, they're leading the meetings, they're contributing, they're making decisions. They're not just landing the jobs, they're secure in the jobs, they're getting raises, they're getting promotions. They get to make it their own. They get the flexibility and the freedom to do what they want in their roles because they're considered an expert and they know what they have to offer. Right? So it's life on the other side of imposter syndrome. But I have literally, imposter syndrome has nothing to do with your achievements. Let me say this, because you can be high achieving and still have debilitating imposter syndrome, where these thoughts are telling you you don't belong, where these thoughts are saying, are questioning your value. Do you really know what's going on? Can you really be successful in that next role? And you have to know, sometimes your brain will lie to you. It is a protection mechanism, a defense mechanism. So all the questions that your brain provides, it's not always true. And so, if you're imposter syndrome, if you're sitting there highly decorated, you're in the room with people that you have more credentials than, and you're feeling like, I don't know if I belong here, and you keep quiet and you pause and your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty. That's imposter syndrome, sis. That's imposter syndrome. All right. So I want to share with you all, if you're like, Latrice, I am loving this. You want to get over imposter syndrome. You know you need help enhancing your brand. I invite you to join our Fearless Branding Formula. I'm currently in open enrollment. That is my program specifically designed for women of color, because we address the unique challenges and situations that women of color face in the workplace. And the Fearless Branding Formula is designed to help you land that six-figure promotion and beyond, okay, and increase your salary by $20,000 to $50,000 in 90 days regardless of the recession, regardless of the job market. Okay. So if you're interested in that program, you can go to sixfigurepromotion.com and you can schedule a call with me if you have specific questions, or you can enroll directly. If you've been watching me for a while and you've like, Latrice, I need this, I know I want to work with you, go ahead and go to sixfigurepromotion.com and you can enroll directly, or you can book a call with me. All right. If you're like, hey, Latrice, loving all this, and you'd like more free information, you know branding is important, I actually have a free branding masterclass called Secure the Bag. And then with that, you're actually going to get my client success panel. This was highly anticipated and it was an amazing experience. I had 6 of my clients sharing their stories, giving inspirations, so you could hear directly from other women of color and how they built their confidence, built their brand, and overcame imposter syndrome. We had one client go from 35,000 to over 200,000. I had another client that when she came to me, she originally told me no. She was so nervous. She was like, I don't know if this is real, to getting one of the highest jumps in my business, to then now going on to interviewing for 200K roles. I had another client share how she increased her salary by 60,000. I had another client talk about how she was able to leverage an offer that she got to stay with her own company and get a salary increase and a better title. So I share this with you all because they talk about how they overcame imposter syndrome, how they built up their confidence inside the Fearless Branding Formula program. So I want to make sure that you all watch that. So put branding in the comments to get the free workshop, and you will we'll send you the link. Either myself or someone on my team will send you the link so you can sign up. All right. Y'all know I got my little notes here. Okay. So here's the thing with imposter syndrome. I want to get us back on how to overcome that, right? You have to shift your mindset. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. We want the practical stuff. Can I just go running, right? Like, give me some actions to take, especially when it comes to high achieving women of color and high achieving Black women. We really love the task. Oh, I need to go back to school. Going back to school is not going to help you overcome imposter syndrome or getting another certification. Ask me how I know. I'm guilty of it. I've seen women with 2, 3 master's degrees and still feel like I'm not enough. I don't have enough. I need to get more. So then they get a PhD, and then they get a PhD or they get a doctorate, and they're like, okay, you know what? I need to go to this other school. I need to get this other certification. Staying stuck in their career because they feel like they need more and more and more because they feel like an imposter. Or again, how I met someone, she had 14 certifications. 14. She wasn't even using any of them. And I was like, why so many? She said, because I don't want anyone to ever say anything I don't understand or something like that. And it was just her imposter syndrome. It's like, man, be an expert in your field. You don't need to be an expert in everything. And it was like, what do they call it? Like jack of all trades, master of none. And I was like, but what are you great at? What is your brand? So you have to work on your mindset. All of these negative thoughts and these questions that your brain are giving you, you have to learn how to reframe. And instead of negative thoughts, I like to say thoughts that are no longer serving you. And if you think that it is serving you, like people tell me, like, oh no, Latrice, I like to think of every possible worst case scenario. If you think that is serving you, I'd be like, is it moving you closer to your goal or further away? Right? If your imposter syndrome and these intrusive thoughts are telling you to get 3 more certifications, I'd be like, is that moving me closer or is that keeping me stalled? And these are the questions you have to ask yourself. And we teach our clients inside the Fearless Branding Formula how to reframe an intrusive thought or a negative thought that comes up. Because these thoughts will come up in the worst possible moments, right before you're giving a presentation, right before you're speaking to the board, right when you're in an interview. They come up at the worst possible case and they can stall you. They can prevent your creativity. They can prevent you from answering the questions properly. They can prevent you from presenting at your best potential. So you have to learn how to reframe these negative thoughts or these intrusive thoughts in the moment. You have to know how to do this right away. You have to shift your mindset. Okay. That's number 1. Number two, you need to work on your own self identity. Who are you? Beyond your title, who are you, the type of person that you are. This will help you get to the core of that imposter syndrome when you're like, I am a great person, I am a good person, I am someone who listens to other people, right? Knowing who you are and your own identity. Inside the Fearless Branding Formula, one of the first things we have our clients do is go through we call it a self identity workshop. And we have a workbook that they go through to say, okay, you need to get in touch with your self identity. You don't suffer from imposter syndrome when you truly know who you are and believe in the core of who you are. Okay. And then this is my favorite. You all might have heard me talk about this before. The 25 reasons why. If your imposter syndrome is setting in, it's like you're not ready for that next level. You shouldn't apply for that director role. Who are you to be a VP? I don't think you belong in these meetings. Or it was like, don't say anything stupid. That's the main thing. When clients are like, I'm afraid I'm going to say something stupid, or I'm afraid I'm going to say something and they won't understand me. Come up with 25 reasons why. 25 reasons why I'm a great communicator. 25 reasons why I belong in this boardroom. Literally, you're going to give yourself evidence, right? Especially for my high achieving A-type personalities like I am. It's like your brain will be like, sis, I don't know about this. You need to give it evidence. And usually I tell people don't involve other people when you are doing your own inner work. But when it comes to imposter syndrome, sometimes it is good to look around. Sometimes it is good. I was watching this, honestly, it was like a TikTok or a reel, like the little video clips. And it was this woman, and she said when she got into, she was talking about how she made her millions as a business owner. And she said when she finally got into the rooms with all these millionaires and billionaires, she was like, what? She's like, me and my team are smarter than them. She said it actually helped her boost her confidence. And all these years, she was so intimidated. She thought these people were on a pedestal, and she gets in the same room and like, oh, I'm smarter than you. I got more experience than you. Like, I have more credentials than you, because you've been working so long. Like, we think honing in on our skills, at some point, sis, you're just ready. You're just ready, and you need to tell yourself. And it is okay. You're not putting anyone else down, but it's okay to look around and be like, no, I belong here. Like me and him are on the same level, or me and her, we're good. It is perfectly okay to do that. And in fact, one of the things that I talk about in my program is speaking up. Like, I have this thing, and we always talk about, like, we don't talk over top of you in the boardroom. We allow you the space and the capacity to speak inside the Fearless Branding Formula as you're discovering your own voice. You have to start discovering your own voice, sis. Who are you? What does your voice sound like? What is your specific style? Okay. And then my last tip, I'm going to talk about this, that goes along with your brand, is you need to know your brand. And at this level, I find you need to know your leadership philosophy. This is why I talked about all that other work about who you are. What is your philosophy? How do you want to lead? And even if you're an individual contributor, if you make impact, if you have influence, like, those are the skill sets of a leader. And you need to know your leadership philosophy. What is your style? What do you believe about leadership? How do you want to show up every day? And how do you want people to expect for you to show up? Get very clear on these things, and they go hand in hand with your brand. And these things are so important to overcoming imposter syndrome. You will feel so much better. You will be able to speak up in those meetings. You'll be able to present to the board. You will be able to speak in these interviews that are 1, 2 levels higher than where you're at now. I had a client do that. Like, like, the next level would have been director, but she was already doing a director level role without the title. So she actually went after VP roles, and she was interviewing and got the VP role. This is why overcoming imposter syndrome is so important, because you could be sitting there in a position that where you belong 2 levels higher. You could be meant to be your own business owner, but imposter syndrome is telling you you're not good enough. You could be in the C-suite, VP, but your imposter syndrome is telling you you need more, you don't belong. This is why you need to overcome. It's stealing your peace. It's telling you that you don't belong when you do. when you do, sis. Okay. So, as you all are watching this, if you have any comments, any questions, anytime, if you felt like this before, if you've said some of these things to yourself, feel free, put it in the chat. You can always DM me as well. I have a lot of people, a lot of you all are messaging me. I love the DMs. I will try to get to them as soon as possible too. But feel free to message me, share with me what's going on, okay? And if you're like, Latrice, I am loving this. I need help overcoming imposter syndrome. You know you would love a coach and a community. I invite you to join the Fearless Branding Formula. That is my personal branding and mindset program where we're going to help you as a woman of color overcome that imposter syndrome, land a six-figure promotion and beyond, and increase your salary by $20,000 to $50,000 in 90 days. And we're doing this regardless of the recession, okay? And I'm just so excited. So I want you all to know if you are interested in this, in the Fearless Branding Formula. Oh, changing my little thing. There we go. Go ahead and go to sixfigurepromotion.com. That's sixfigurepromotion.com. You can choose to enroll directly or book a call, but you'll see on the website all for my client testimonials, how I have helped them overcome imposter syndrome, how they've landed roles in the C suite, how they've landed roles in leadership, and how they've landed roles as a high level individual contributor. And they've done all these things because they're overcoming their imposter syndrome. And we do this by helping you master your brand. We help you master your brand. We help you understand your mindset, right? And switch your mindset so that you can make six figures without sacrificing your personal freedom and family time. That is what it's all about. All right. And if you're like, Latrice, I'm loving this. I like more, you like more of these. I invite you to also check out my free workshop. I did a free master class on secure the called Secure the Bag Beyond Six Figures. It's a personal branding master class specifically designed for women of color. And along with that, when you see the replay, you'll also get the recording of my client success panel that was amazing, where you can hear from my clients how they overcame imposter syndrome to land six-figure roles, to go from 35,000 to over 200,000, to get $60,000 increases and beyond. So go ahead and put branding in the comments. Even my replay people, love my hashtag replay people. If you're watching the replay, put branding in the comments and we will get that link out to you all. You all have a fantastic night. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.